You look like the little gophers out there. I think if we all jump at the same time, the wind will catch us and we'll just float. Mine's different today. I actually thought about putting me.
I'll try not to. Yours is teddy bear?
He's a little panda, a creepy panda. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Well, you want me to finish?
John's got the pose.
Good stirring.
On behalf of Esther and Dan, Jim and Judy, Dorothy and Marvin, my wife Linda Beth, and our families, we would like to welcome you here today as we celebrate Muddy's life. We have traveled here from California, British Columbia, Alberta, Minnesota, and Ontario. We've had a wonderful time reminiscing, catching up with those we haven't seen in a while, and in some cases meeting family members for the first time. We have created new memories that will last us a lifetime.
Mom was the one who baled most of the hay and straw around Brookville, Ardrossan, and Josephsburg. Her children grew up in various hay fields with Mom holding us on her lap while she made the rounds or played in the shade of a vehicle on a blanket. Many a baby bottle was tossed off the tractor onto the swath that she had to climb down to retrieve. John was especially proficient at this game. She became the queen of jam making, living in the North Okanagan region with full access to seasonal fruit. Any combination of fruit became an excellent tasting jam. Mom, until we meet again, we love you.
As I came to know my mother-in-law, my love and respect grew for her. She was always kind to me and generous in her love and affection. She taught us how to play one of her favorite games, Phase 10. We never left her place, and she never arrived at our home without a supply of jams and jellies. Behind me, you'll notice 2 of the many quilts made by Mom. Each quilt she made carried a piece of her life in it. I believe part of her legacy to her children and her grandchildren were her quilts, and she made at least one for each of us. I know you treasure yours as much as I treasure mine. She showed her caring through her quilting, her crafting, her canning, and her cooking. She simply loved to be with her family, most of who are gathered here today.
As the changes really showed, though, she became very confused, and Marvin became that man that lives here. She had no idea who he was, with no recollection of his name or any relationship to her. The 2 men that we had contracted to build the basement were also well known to us, so Marvin had told them that I would bake a pie for them for coffee the next day, and I did. When Marvin came home from his coffee on his coffee break to give Mom her insulin, he took one of the pies and took it outside to the guys. Mom tried to let him know that she didn't think that he should be doing that Dorothy had baked those pies. He tried to tell her that it was okay, but she was not very happy. When I came home from work, she was waiting for me, and I got an earful. That man came in here and took the pie and took it outside. I said, I know, I made it for the guys working on the basement. And she said, but he took the whole pie.
When we met with Pastor West a few days ago to talk about today's service, the scripture he suggested I read was John 14, verses 1 to 6. When we got back here, we decided we would read the scripture today from Mom's Bible. When Dorothy brought out the Bible, we opened it to the place where Mom had placed a bookmark. Lo and behold, not only was the bookmark at John 14, Mom had underlined the first verse in the chapter. There's no way this could be a coincidence. These verses obviously meant something to Mom.
Bird watching became something that was very special for her. I think she probably wished she could just be free like them and leave the troubles behind. I placed a couple of bird feeders outside the living room window, and she would sit on the couch for hours and watch them eat. So I'd like to call up Edith's granddaughters at this time, Darlene, Chrissy, Tammy, Tracy, and Rachel, and they're going to hang Mom's bird feeders on so that the birds can eat.
Now you got the camera.
I know.
Where were you 10 minutes ago?
I know. Oh. Be able to do that. Great. So it is now Sunday morning, and it is 3:30 in the morning, and we have to get up and go to the airport now. I'm sleepy, but yeah, that's what's going on right now. Hi. Oh, hello. Hi, Conan. Hey, little buddy. Hi, Conan. Hello. Were you a good boy? Were you a good boy?
You happy? Are you happy?
That's what he said. He's a Timbit. What's this, Conan? So it is now 6:30
on Sunday. I'm now back home from Saskatchewan. The whole point of this trip was to celebrate the life of my grandmother. We had a little celebration of life with family and a few close friends of my aunt who lives in Saskatoon. And then it was also kind of a family reunion because my dad's side of the family rarely gets together. Like years and years go by, and some of them he hadn't seen for like 20, 30 years, and some I'd never met, some he had never met. And so it was just such a great time. We didn't do really any sort of sightseeing. It was just basically going and spending time with family. Also, it's the prairies. We were just outside of Saskatoon in a little town that's about 20 minutes, and there really isn't anything to do. As far as like sightseeing goes, we didn't do any of that. Hit up a couple breweries. We played so many yard games. The weather was great. The nice thing about Saskatchewan is they don't have the humidity like we do in Ontario. And it's always windy, so even on a really warm day, you've got a nice breeze going. I loved connecting with cousins that I've never met before, and I'm a family person. My mom's family is really close. We get together tons throughout the year, so it's nice to finally have that connection with my dad's side of the family, and we're hoping that, you know, we can see each other more often. We're really widespread across Canada, and we've got family that's also in California and Minnesota, so we're all over the place, but we're hoping that we can, you know, just rotate and travel to each other's for a more frequent family reunion. So, I hope you enjoyed this little travel vlog, and I will see you next weekend.